Thank you, National Colloid, for sponsoring this broadcast. A National Colloid company with over 75 years in the chemical industry can take care of all your chemical blending needs.
My name is Tony Lully, and welcome to Harp and Habit. And hold on. Welcome to the Harp and Habit High Valley Sports Online. This segment we are talking to Coach Eric Meek. This is sponsored by National Colloid, the National Colloid Company. Eric, Coach Meek, Steubenville Catholic Central played Bishop Roadcrans this past week. Win 52-45, won for the record books. Eric, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. It was a great win. It was one of the strangest games I think that a lot of people has seen in a long time. At the half, we were down 21-14. We scored 32 points in the third quarter. The strange thing about the ball game is they threw about every play and we ran about every play, but we had 4 defensive scores, and it seemed like we were never on the field. I don't remember calling many plays because every time we would have a defensive score, we'd have to line up and kick off. But our secondary played fantastic. We had 6 interceptions on the evening, and Matthew Sprocki had 3 interceptions, 2 returned for touchdowns. Zach Bryan had 1, whether it was a fumble or he basically intercepted a hook and ladder when they went to ladder the ball, and he took 1 back. And
that was a real heads-up play.
Yeah, James McInnes took a 95-yard interception back, and then we had 1 other interception, freshman Davion Thorne. He didn't score on it, but 4 defensive scores.
That was remarkable. You don't see that very many. Of course, like you said, they throw the ball all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
They threw the ball.
A lot of deep balls. Yes.
Yeah, and I thought you did a pretty good job of controlling the ball when you had the ball.
When we had the ball, you're exactly right. We averaged 6.5 yards on the ground. We only threw the ball 5 times. No turnovers on Harp. We won the turnover margin 6-0, and we averaged 6.5 yards on the ground, and we were 3 for 5, 60 yards. We always say 60%, whether you throw the ball 2 times or 25 times, and we were able to accomplish that goal. I wasn't happy with our overall special teams play. I thought it was sloppy at times. Was not happy, and it really bothers me because I kind of orchestrate the game plan. I've always done that in my coaching career. So, but overall, just very, very pleased, and our kids fought hard, and I believe we're a better team than we were week 1, and certainly a better team than our first scrimmage back on August the 8th.
And Eric, you guys, you had you find somebody who could get the ball through the uprights and at least give you an opportunity to score.
Yeah,
don't have to go for 2 every time.
Sonny Descalzo, a senior, was our extra point guy this week. J.P. Gesser was our kickoff man. We almost got our objectives on extra point, but we didn't get the last 2. One was a missed exchange on the snap, and then we missed one. So
his leg was probably tired from kicking off.
Yeah, but it's overall, it was a good night, a good hard-fought win. I mean, you think of how our secondary, they ran all over that field that night. I mean, that ball was in the air on about every snap, and then many, many deep passes were thrown.
Something I was impressed with, whenever you have a team like that and they got you in space, you got to be aggressive in open field, and your open field tackling was really impressive.
Well, thank you. And the other issue is a lot of people may not realize is we had to really jumble people around. I kind of alluded to that last Wednesday, but I didn't want to get into detail because I don't know who from Zanesville, could get on and hear this show. But we had a lot of guys playing different positions. We had some injuries the week before, and then we had an injury in the ball game. James McInnes went out before the half, I believe, or maybe I think it was before the half, and that was a tough one, and then we had some minor injuries where, it was a real struggle sometimes figuring out who was playing what on the offensive line.
And you mentioned that before about because of your lack of depth, you have to. I mean, these people need to know what to do when they go in, and you can't just throw anyone out there.
Like I said last week, it's different than coaching Division II or III for sure. But also, at least we're in the lower 30s, where some of these people we play are in the lower 20s on their roster. So, but it is very difficult, and I guess the good thing is Central. We got a lot of smart kids at Catholic Central, and they're able to pick up, and they understand the game of football.
Eric, you talked about not having a lot of opportunities offensively. You took advantage of every one you had, 200 and some yards on the ground and 4 touchdowns. But defensively, you had a 4-minute stretch at the end of the third quarter where you basically had to take the win right out of Rosecrans Sales. 3 interception returns or 3 defensive touchdowns.
32 points in the third quarter. The game was so right after we do the alma mater, after we shake hands, and Andrew Grimm from the Herald Star is always waiting for me as I walk to the other end of the field to go down the steps towards the locker room. And I said, Andrew, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember hardly what happened in the game. It was one of those games that it was just crazy.
Right. So many things happen.
It was like, is this real? It was almost like a dream, and it was like, I got to watch the film because it was a very strange football game.
And your defense basically, I mean, they weren't going to go away, and they scored 2 touchdowns, bang, bang in the fourth quarter. They were on their way again, and your defense once again stepped up to the plate.
They recovered 2 onside kicks in the last 4 minutes, so that made it.
So there were so many things that happened in that game you just don't see.
Right.
I mean, you don't see an onside kick sometimes for 3 seasons.
Right.
And you had 2 back-to-back.
It was crazy.
Very interesting. So talk a little bit about Matthew Sprocka. I know he's returning quarterback. He had 160 yards on offense, rushing.
160 yards.
Yeah.
Rushing, 3 for 5 through the air, 60 yards, no turnovers. That's a big deal. And like you said, he had 3 interceptions. Two he ran back for scores. So.
And he almost led the defense in tackles.
And a touchdown pass as well.
Yeah, right. And, our other running backs are doing real well. Ryan Holsworth right now has emerged as our leading tailback. He's a junior. He's done a real good job. He ran hard. He had that 19-yard touchdown where he had 2 touchdowns.
Right.
He ran really hard. I was real proud of him. Kyron Busick, another junior, led the way at fullback. And we had a couple other backs that did not play last week, and we did kind of give freshman Davion Thorne, who's a receiver, a little bit of a test drive at tailback, and he got some carries, and the one was he did a really good job. So, you always got to try to prepare for the future, and you got to give kids looks and see that, hey, this might be a piece of the puzzle later on down the road. Do you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
Some of the people that don't usually get much press, I call them the big uglies up front, right? So number 72, Alex Fedorov, really caught my eye. 6'4", 255.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about this.
Alex is a first-year starter. He's been with me, since he got here, and has been the JV player, and he's gotten really big, and he worked hard in the off season, and we didn't know, honestly, if Alex would win the starting position, and he has. And not only that, but he's also played defensive end very, very well. He's really improved since a year ago, and like you said, he's a big kid.
Yeah.
So, we're looking forward there as we head next week into the close of the first half of the season. As we move from week to week, we're hoping to see him continue to improve and get better.
Close of the first half of the season already.
Yeah,
fastest 10 weeks in a year.
But
that's remarkable.
But since you said that, we also have.
Let's talk about.
Let's talk about the O-line because that is important. At left guard, we have Johnny Kostecki, strongest kid on the team.
I remember him last year.
Yeah, 340. I don't know, 340, 350, something around there. He's just really a great kid and very, very consistent lineman. Nick Massio, another junior. is our center. Nick's done a great job. He started all 12 games last year and every game this year. At right guard, we have Braylon Wilson, who's moved in from Pennsylvania. He's only a sophomore. He's a big kid,
Wow.
and he can. And then at right tackle, I had mentioned James McInnes unselfishly moved from receiver to tight end to tackle because out of necessity, and he's done a tremendous job. Our tight ends, Matty Jones, who's also a quarterback, but right now Matthew Sprocki is our quarterback, and Matty went down. He's only a sophomore, and a freshman, Seth White. And then a couple other guys that got in, and Justin Rowe, who is really a good first, second down lineman on defense. He's a senior. And Hunter Kirkpatrick, a junior, has gotten some playing time on the offensive line.
Very good. So you have a quarterback that's on the offensive line? Did I get that right? Did you say
Tight
that?
end.
You said he
Matty
played
Jones
Matty
is a
Jones.
sophomore, and he's a quarterback, really.
Right.
But
And
he's probably, him and Michael Fabro are right behind Matthew, but it's like Michael Fabro is a junior. We got him playing receiver. And Matty Jones, we need a tight end. So right now he's our tight end.
Gotcha. Very good.
Small school football.
Right.
Yeah.
Coach, you're 2-1 going into the next game here with Bridgeport. They're 1-2. What kind of challenge do they present for you?
Well, we were at their game Friday night against East Palestine, and East Palestine's 3-0. They're pretty good. Mm-hmm. And Bridgeport could have beat them. I mean, it was a back-and-forth game. The thing about Bridgeport is they got 28 kids on their roster, 14 are seniors.
That's tough to overcome.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
18-year-old kids. So
that experience is
their line has size, and they're older kids, and the quarterback is their guy. I mean, Threet, he's been there number one for 3 years. When we played him as a sophomore, he was a good player.
Seems like he's a red shirt.
And he's fast, and he can run the football out of the shotgun formation. Their tailback's good. He's always in the pistol a lot.
He reminded me a lot of Sprocki. I mean, he's got one guy. He's on defense. He runs the ball on offense. He's very athletic.
Right.
Jackie Threet, right?
When you have a mere type quarterback that you have Sprocki who's a great talent. When you have a mere type quarterback, does that give you an advantage defensively? What kind of advantage does that give you defensively against them?
Because we see it.
Because you see it all the time.
Absolutely, it does. And Matthew Sprocki is a great kid. He just found out today that he's a WTOV Scholar Athlete of the Week. He has a 4.0 GPA, and I kind of joked with him the week of the Wellsville game. Wellsville had a really fast quarterback, and I actually coached his dad at Wellsville 20 years ago. There we go, talking about we were off the air talking about how I don't like being my age. There we go.
Listen. I coached grandparents. I had the grandfather and the grandson.
I don't like being 55. I don't like it. But that's because I'm around kids all day.
Yeah.
Right. That's not a normal profession we have. I mean, most people around boring adults. We're around kids. We're lucky. I look in the mirror.
When you work in most places, you all get a year older every year. Yeah. The kids stay the same age. We just get older.
Yeah, it's crazy. But what were we talking about? See, I forget.
What advantage you have?
Oh yeah,
Matthew. Because of Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew is that does help us, and he's a real weapon. And in the scrimmages, I purposely didn't because we know what he could do. But we got other kids that can carry the ball and do some things.
But defensively, when you're going against Bridgeport,
right?
What advantage does that give you?
Well, it does because the kids understand the type of weapons that they do possess, and we have to stop number one. That's a definite. Oh, I know what I was saying. The Wellsville quarterback was lightning fast.
Right.
So I kept telling
You've
Matthew,
seen another one.
Yeah, all week. I said, hey, Matthew, who are people going to talk about the day after? And he would just smile at me. And, but he's had a real, the week before, Matthew's not a big kid, but he's a strong kid. He's a tough kid. Strasburg, he carried the ball 30 times.
Wow.
You know, that's might be a little.
And plays defense and
never comes off the field, as many of our kids
Right.
though.
That's all we have for you.
Years.
Well,
Okay. But no, it is a great. You know, you're a retired educator. It's great when you spend your whole life around great young people, and
it is fun when they come back
Sure.
and
Right.
recognize
Right.
that you know what you've done
Right.
and kids that you didn't think would come back and appreciate
yeah.
are the ones that really make it really special.
So, okay, guys,
All
thank
right,
you.
Coach.
Thank you. Good
Thanks
luck
for
to
coming.
you.
It's
Take
Coach
care.
Eric
Saturday, and hopefully we'll be talking 3-1 next
Right.
week.
Thank you.
Meek. Coach Eric Meek, Steubenville Central, sponsored by National Colloid Company. We will be right back.
See you, Dan.
Good luck.
Thank you, National Colloid, for sponsoring this broadcast. A National Colloid company with over 75 years in the chemical industry can take care of all your chemical blending needs.